You're not on my level. I don't need to address you, bro.
Leave it. They're looking for fight.
I don't need to address you, bro. You're not on my level.
100%. I'm ready. I do want to hurt him, yeah. That's fact.
Well, that's the business you're in.
Exactly. There's no games here. I do want to hurt him.
What do you mean don't keep him apart? What, you want him to have a full-blown fight on the stage?
No, obviously
Well, but
not.
that's what could happen, isn't it? Well, of course you want it, because it's going to give you views, isn't it?
Good for the sport. You know, it's unfortunately what happened, and no one wants it. I didn't actually see it because we were doing an interview in the room, and I come out and I heard about it. No one wants that happening.
Anthony Joshua collides face-to-face with Deontay Wilder inside an airport, and the air shifts instantly like something is about to snap. This wasn't accidental. This wasn't polite. This was deeply personal. The moment Joshua locks eyes with Wilder, everything slows, and for a second it feels like the entire place is holding its breath. One twitch, one word, one wrong step, and chaos could have erupted right there. No smiles break the silence, no respect softens the stare, just a cold, electric intensity burning between two heavyweights who already know the storm that's coming next.
So, and where you are in your career, you don't offer me nothing.
If you don't want to fight,
I don't need to fight.
If you don't want to
where
fight,
I'm going
that, bro.
bigger and better than you.
Bro, that
fight.
you lost.
Bigger than better.
After the airport clash, Anthony Joshua didn't hold back, dropping a chilling warning toward Deontay Wilder in a deadly serious tone, making it clear he wants to hurt him. But many believe Wilder didn't handle it right either, because that kind of public disrespect only pours gasoline on an already burning fire. Now, this has moved past boxing talk. This feels like something darker, real hostility building between them.
No problems, but that's high-level competition. I won't kind of go over everything that I've been studying about him, but let's just say he's got a good mindset. He's spoken a lot, so you know where his head's at. He's game, innit? And that'll be good enough for me. That's good enough to bring.
Duke McKenzie believes the airport tension isn't hurting boxing at all, it's feeding it. In his eyes, this isn't chaos, it's calculated show business at its finest. He says, this is the fight game versus the fight business, and moments like this only explode global interest. From a business angle, this clash could ignite millions more ticket sales for Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder, transforming raw controversy into unstoppable commercial hype and worldwide attention almost overnight.
It wouldn't surprise me, but like I say, I don't see there's any harm in it. It doesn't bring the sport into disrepute in any way. This is the show business world that we live in. There's the fight game and then there's the fight business. And from the business perspective, that's probably just sold another 1 million tickets worldwide to people to watch this.
Frank Warren says this airport flashpoint involving Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua is hurting boxing, not helping it. And he's not wrong to worry. Wilder's side has already stirred unnecessary chaos, turning a tense moment into something volatile. This kind of public disrespect doesn't just spark headlines, it drags the sport deeper into controversy. Warren makes it clear no serious promoter wants scenes like this erupting outside the ring, no matter how much hype it generates.
And everybody wants to show some respect to each other, and let's see the fight where it should happen in the ring.
Frank Warren doesn't hold back and makes it clear he wants no repeat of scenes like this after the airport clash involving Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. He reveals both sides have apologized, but the damage was already done by Wilder's heated approach, a spark that spread too fast. Warren stresses boxing must stay locked on the sport itself, not dragged into outside tension that only fuels unnecessary controversy and costly distraction.
Look, that's not what we want. I don't want to see that happen. No one does. But I understand now both sides have made it up. They've apologised. So hopefully it's all in the past and we can concentrate.
Deontay Wilder makes it brutally clear he wasn't there to talk. He was there for war, locking eyes with Anthony Joshua and firing off, let's get it on, right after that airport tension. Wilder is pushing a ruthless clean up the division mindset, like he's hunting everyone in his path. But that same aggressive energy is exactly what's driving this drama into overdrive. He's calling everyone out, turning every moment into a challenge, showing he's ready for whoever dares step in front of him.
It wasn't a strange, it wasn't a few words, I adapted up with him and I said, now let's get it on. And it was simple as that.
Is that the fight you want next, Deontay?
I'm ready for whoever, it's whoever. As long as these guys is in the heavyweight division, I'm here. Like I said, you can call me Mr. Clean because I want to clean up the whole division. The heavyweight division is not.
Tyson Fury delivers a blunt, no-filter assessment, saying he respects Deontay Wilder more than Anthony Joshua because Wilder has consistently stepped up into the biggest fights without hesitation. He points directly at Wilder's willingness to face elite-level opposition under pressure, while simultaneously questioning Joshua's long-term legacy on the world stage. Fury's comments don't settle anything, they pour gasoline on an already burning debate, splitting opinion even further and pushing the heavyweight rivalry into deeper controversy, where every new statement only widens the divide instead of closing it.
Joshua needs to prove himself on the world stage because he's so happy fighting in England, and he fought a beaten Klitschko after I'd destroyed him mentally and had a war with him in a beaten fighter. So he needs to prove he's willing to step up to the plate.
Max Kellerman breaks it down from a cold business angle, questioning why Anthony Joshua would gamble his massive money nights against someone like Deontay Wilder, a man carrying real one-punch danger. He points out Joshua already pulls in huge crowds and serious cash without this risk, so stepping into this isn't just about money anymore. It's about the gamble, the legacy on the line, and whether he truly believes he can survive Wilder's devastating power.
Making $30 million a fight, fighting anyone in front of 70 to 100,000 fans in England. Why make $50 million to fight a guy who might beat him, right? Wilder really can beat he has chances against anyone because Fury's right. He's one of the great all-time punchers with the right hand. So there's no financial incentive for
Carl Froch doesn't sugarcoat anything, openly questioning whether Anthony Joshua truly believes he can beat Deontay Wilder in a real fight scenario. He paints a dangerous, almost unforgiving picture where one clean right hand from Wilder could shut the lights off instantly and change everything in a split second. Froch makes it clear this isn't just hype or media noise, it's a genuine 50-50th danger fight where Joshua must be completely confident in his ability, because any hesitation or doubt could end in a brutal knockout loss.
I don't know if AJ believes he can beat Deontay. Well, maybe he does, maybe he wants to come back, maybe he wants to fight again, but what happens in that fight? Anthony Joshua in one corner, Deontay Wilder in the other corner, they come together in the centre of the ring. What happens? I honestly can't say what happens. I think if Deontay Wilder throws a couple of meaningful right hands and connects on AJ's chin, then the fight's over. AJ will be knocked out.
Duke McKenzie says Deontay Wilder knows exactly how to sell a fight, especially when someone like Anthony Joshua is across from him. He admits this is a massive heavyweight clash, but warns it is also a dangerous one for both men where everything can change in a single exchange. McKenzie even goes further by suggesting Joshua might actually be the harder puncher, which only deepens the argument and keeps fans split. That twist adds even more uncertainty, making the potential showdown feel unpredictable, explosive, and impossible to confidently call from either side.
Deontay Wilder knows how to sell a fight, and he's already called out Joshua. That's a big fight. I mean, like I said, I'd love to see him walk away from the sport. Wilder, I'd like to see him say, you know what, I've had enough, but he's already got his eyes on the next one, potentially a fight with Joshua. It's not a good fight to take. It's not a good fight to take. Yeah. Joshua's a big, meaty guy. Joshua's right hand's like probably the hardest. He's probably the hardest punch in heavyweight right now. For me, personally, I think he hits hard.
Johnny Nelson dismisses Deontay Wilder outright, claiming the TNT power that once terrified opponents has quietly vanished and the fear factor has completely eroded. He argues Wilder can no longer even unleash that explosive right hand with the same timing or conviction, suggesting his knockout threat is fading faster than fans want to admit. Nelson also openly challenges the surrounding hype, insisting the public is being carried away by old highlights instead of current reality. In his view, Wilder is no longer the same destructive force he once was, and that alone reshapes the entire conversation around a potential clash with Anthony Joshua at this stage of their careers. At this point, the question hanging in the air isn't just about power anymore, it's whether the legend of Wilder is already gone, or if it's about to be tested one last time in a way nobody is fully prepared for.
Snapper's gone. Wilder's TNT is gone. Wilder's that punch is gone. He couldn't even let it go. He's just gone. So I don't believe that. I think Carl might be setting the cat amongst the pigeons.
Frank Smith emphasizes that all attention is now tightening around Anthony Joshua's next move, with backroom talks still circling the perfect route back into chaos and spotlight. He stresses Joshua remains the sport's biggest attraction, the fighter everyone is hunting for, including Deontay Wilder. According to Smith, the business side of boxing is fully locked on Joshua's return, where every decision could rewrite the heavyweight landscape. The demand for 8 minutes, 24 seconds this fight keeps surging worldwide, turning anticipation into something almost uncontrollable.
It's all eyes on getting AJ whatever works best for him, whatever the right route back is for him. There's discussions ongoing. AJ's the hot ticket. Everyone wants to fight Anthony Joshua. So
Eddie Hearn highlights that Anthony Joshua showed a calm, ice-cold reaction when Deontay Wilder stepped forward, signaling he is fully open to the fight without fear or hesitation. Hearn admits Joshua has looked sharper in recent performances, especially against tough opposition like Derek Chisora. However, he also expected more from Wilder, even though he comes away slightly impressed by certain moments. That mixed assessment deepens the intrigue, suggesting Joshua is still evolving under pressure while Wilder remains unpredictable and difficult to fully read. As a result, the potential showdown becomes even more compelling, with fans split, debates intensifying, and no clear consensus forming on how the fight would actually play out if it finally happens.
He looked better. Listen, Chisora's not easy. Do you know what I mean? He's a tough man. He's not an easy guy to beat. Obviously, I wasn't impressed with Wilder, but I was more impressed than I thought. If that makes sense.
Deontay Wilder scoring a knockout over Anthony Joshua is now being labeled by Counterpunch Boxing as highly unlikely at this stage, with analysts pointing out that Wilder's jab and setup game no longer appear sharp or consistent enough to build the kind of openings he once relied on. They still acknowledge that his one-punch threat has not completely disappeared, but it is now seen as more limited, less reliable, and far more inconsistent than in his prime years. In contrast, Joshua is viewed as having the technical edge, stronger defensive control, and better composure in exchanges, which would make it difficult for Wilder to land anything clean or fight-ending. That analysis shifts the momentum in the debate toward Joshua, changing the overall narrative and reinforcing the idea that recent expert breakdowns increasingly lean in his favor while still leaving just enough doubt to keep the matchup discussion alive.
I do not see a Wilder knocking out Joshua. I just don't see it at this point. I don't see him. His jab is not good enough. He could probably possibly land one of those shots.
Anthony Joshua makes it crystal clear that a fight with Deontay Wilder is no longer optional, it has to happen. He sounds visibly frustrated with the ongoing negotiations and what he calls fantasy contracts, pushing the idea that both men come from the same generation and must settle everything in reality, not behind closed doors or endless promotional talk. This 10 minutes, 26 seconds moment feels like Joshua drawing a hard line, showing real urgency and intent after all the tension that has been building for so long.
Say he said, she said, he said, she said. I think in the reality and the scheme of things, it's a fight that we have to have. We're both in the same generation, the same era. We're both heavyweight champions of the world. So with that being said, as I said, there's no fantasy contracts. It's a situation where it's reality. I don't like coming to a stage in my career when I'm just talking about what I'm worth and negotiations and what we're bringing to the table.
Eddie Hearn describes a cold, tense moment when Anthony Joshua locked eyes with Deontay Wilder, a stare that instantly signaled he is ready to fight without hesitation. Hearn admits Joshua has looked improved in recent outings, especially against strong opposition, but he still wasn't fully convinced by Wilder's overall performance level. Even so, Wilder managed to show more than expected in key moments, adding layers of uncertainty and complexity to the debate. What emerges is a mixed and unstable picture. Joshua evolving with sharper intent, Wilder remaining unpredictable and dangerous in flashes, and the fight itself becoming more intriguing with every new detail. Hearn's assessment carries both respect and doubt, keeping the heavyweight storyline wide open, volatile, and extremely unpredictable at this stage. Now, the pressure only builds further as every new reaction pushes the potential clash closer to something unavoidable.
Thought he looked better. Listen, Chisora's not easy. Do you know what I mean? He's a tough man. He's not an easy guy to beat. Obviously, I wasn't impressed with Wilder, but I was more impressed than I thought. If that makes sense.
Pain Game highlights how the boxing world is now completely locked onto a potential clash between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, arguing fans have wanted this fight for years, even if it arrives outside their absolute primes. He explains that the uncertainty is exactly what makes it so gripping, because nobody truly knows which version of either fighter will step into the ring when it matters most. Joshua's recent struggles mixed with Wilder's unpredictable form only intensify the curiosity, turning every update into speculation and doubt. Pain Game stresses this is the type of fight boxing thrives on: high risk, legacy pressure, and unanswered questions hanging over every angle. The demand keeps exploding because the matchup still feels unfinished, emotionally charged, and unresolved in the eyes of fans across the boxing world, as if the story is waiting for a final, definitive ending.